going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Mindtality podcast. I'm your host, Rodolfo Felix.
And co-host Eric, guys.
And we're here. We're back. Another one. What is this, Eric?
Yeah.
Number 27?
Another one.
27, man. Let's freaking go. All right. Number 27. Eric, kick us off.
Another one. So, first of all, I just want to say something. I did something here.
Uh-oh.
I deleted TikTok.
Oh.
It's done. Gone. Forever. Done.
Explain, sir. You can't just drop this tea on us.
I just could not. Every time I went on TikTok, man, I'd always see these people with these nice cars and people would be doing stuff like investing. I'm like, you know what? This is just misleading me in a lot of ways, and it's wasting my time. I'm sitting here, I'm scrolling through it. Sometimes, like, when I'm trying to waste time, I'll be like an hour, 2 hours. I'm like, where'd the time go? I honestly deleted it because it was making me not that great of a person. I just needed to refocus myself on what my goals are. And I was like, you know what? This is it. Done. Deleted. Gone. And so I did it.
Okay, cool. I'm a fan of TikTok. I've never been crazy over TikTok. I'm not gonna say that I haven't spent hours on TikTok at periods of a time. I've done like the 2-hour binge on TikTok, watching the weirdest thing, Eric. Like I caught myself watching videos on top of videos of people removing the hooves or like the metal things off the horses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's so satisfying because they really scrape out all that compacted dirt that builds under the horse's feet. But it's like nails, like they put like 3 or 4 inch nails into the horse's and then they trim the nails with like these giant scissors. So I'm not gonna say that I'm TikTok perfect or I'm TikTok savvy. But I definitely understand what you mean, and that's a good thing, Eric. You're like you said, you're focusing on your goals. You're focusing on what your mission is and what could potentially slow you down, what can stop you, what can hold you back, and that right there, man. That's something that a lot of people complicate. It's a very simple process. You took a look at your life and you figured out what needs to be adjusted, only because, Eric, you have a goal in mind. You have this vision in your mind.
Right.
And that allows you, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about focus. I wanted to talk about you being your own barrier, which 99.999% is our fault. Our growth, and how we bounce back, it's up to us. Okay. So before we dive into that, what else have you been up to, Eric?
Yeah, I've just been working. I've been going through some of my baseball cards. I don't know if I told you that. Did I tell you that? Yeah,
I think we briefly went over it before the podcast last week.
Yeah, my goodness. That is a lot of baseball cards that I have. And I've been sorting through them. And finally, I'm like at a point now where I'm like, okay, I feel like I got them all sorted now to where I can start working on selling them.
Yeah.
But wow, it took so long.
Which platform are you using to sell them? eBay, yes, that's the spot right there for
eBay. And if I can't sell it by the time I leave, I'll probably just go down to like a pawn shop or whatever and see if they'll buy it.
Okay.
And then go from there. But it's just been a continuous like picking at it. I got an hour. Let's just sort through some baseball cards.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 30 minutes, or I'm bored. Let's just sort through some baseball cards. And after like just doing that for a while, I've been finally able to sort them into like 2 large. I don't know if you could see them right there.
Yeah.
2 large boxes of baseball cards.
Jeez.
It took a while. Found some good cards though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you keep any for yourself? Did you break the rule of throwing away things?
Oh yeah. I broke the rule a little bit.
No doubt.
I have some really good cards that I was like, maybe I should keep this one.
Yeah, you can't just give away everything, Eric. Come on. What do you think this is?
Yeah, no, it was some Wayne Gretzky cards and Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter. Like I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So for those who don't follow me on Instagram, I posted last night around 9:30 that I had just gotten back from the boxing gym. Yeah, so I think about maybe 3 or 4 videos ago, I was talking to Eric about making that transition from like wood shopping to like boxing. It started off with me just watching like the pay-per-view fights for like UFC, and then once I seen like a couple boxing knockouts, I started getting a little bit interested more in boxing away from UFC. And the funny thing is, Eric, too, is I've watched so much boxing within the last 3 weeks. I get like very cringy whenever I see like an elbow to like the forehead in like a UFC fight. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I used to want this. Like I used to want like to, see people get hurt. Funny enough. But anyways, 3 weeks ago or so, I started to get into boxing. I started to make that slow transition. I started to change my diet a little bit, just to look up some YouTubes look up exercise on YouTube, training methods, stuff like that. I bought some sparring gloves. I bought some boxing wraps, and I wanted to test myself for a couple weeks. Work out 2 or 3 times a week to see if I don't know if this is something I want to make like a lifelong thing, or if I just want to make like a seasonal thing. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Eric. I'm approaching this sport, this hobby, the same way we've approached this podcast, of just making sure that we plan ahead in advance to make sure that it can get done. And like I said, focus is the theme for today's video. Focus and understanding that you yourself are your own barrier to your growth, to your success, to your happiness, really.
Yeah.
So I finally joined the gym. Finally.
Well, congratulations on doing that, making that step. It's always the first step is the great part. And I like what you said about, you're your only barrier. And it's true, because whether it's self-doubt, whether it's not being able to put in the work to it, you're the only person that's going to stop you from succeeding and fulfilling your dreams. It's about investing your time too. You gotta really like put yourself in there and be like, all right, if this is what I really want, then I need to commit myself to it. I need to sit here and I need to reevaluate some of the things that I have in my life. I mean, like, for example, I deleted TikTok. It's reevaluated, right? I'm like, okay, where can I, where am I spending time, and where can I reallocate that time to be a better use? Right. So I'm looking at TikTok. I'm like, I'm not learning anything from this. This is not any educational purpose. So, and it's just misleading me to the stuff that I don't want. Right. So I deleted it. All right, done. That's what, an hour I can get back in my day. Yeah. I don't have to worry about it. Next thing, let's figure out, okay, where else am I wasting time here? And then you just go through your day and you figure out which ways to better yourself and which ways to help yourself succeed and put yourself in the right position. Yeah. And the position is key, putting yourself in that right position to succeed.
Yeah. And I wanted to go back, Eric, when you're talking about like there's reasons why we don't do things because we are our own barriers. I wanted to share a couple of experiences yesterday. So the first one is any experience, any emotion anyone would feel joining anything new, literally, whether it's like a pot making class, where you do like, what's it called? Ceramics, or if it's wine and painting for the first time, whatever it is, anything. You can downplay the activity. Think about you guys the first day of school. Even if you're returning, high school student, you have those butterflies. It's the unknown. And so I experienced that. I was really nervous about an hour before the practice. I don't know anyone there, you guys. So I was gonna pull up as a muck. I was gonna pull up by myself, but I made sure that I didn't look like a muck. I made sure, like, I was like, okay, I know what the owner looks like. I'm just gonna go straight for him. I'm not gonna ask around and look silly. And so I did so. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is just that natural fear, the fear of unknown. You're not sure if you fit in. You're not sure if you're going to stick out. You're not sure if you can keep up. That was one of my fears. I wasn't sure if I can keep up. I wasn't sure if my form was embarrassing. Just started to overthink, right? But I pushed through it. I told myself, this is what I wanted to do. I'm gonna do it. And the second thing I wanted to talk about, Eric, is I know I've mentioned it in the podcast in the past, my UV therapy for my psoriasis. It's predominantly on my legs, like my shin areas. For the most part, like my body's okay, like my face, my hands and stuff. And for those who don't know what psoriasis is, it's very similar to eczema. It's just a little severe case. It's not contagious. There's no root to it. A lot of dermatologists find it to be related to stress, anxiety, depression, like those things. So what comes with that, Eric, is a lot of insecurities. You know, when you have, I mean, think about it. When you have a big Band-Aid on your leg, someone's going to ask, what did you do? What happened? Are you okay? Now, imagine if you don't cover that, you know, scar, if you don't cover that cut. That's very, I mean, it's obvious. Having psoriasis is obvious. The skin tone's different. The skin's inflamed. So a lot of people tend to look at me, and this has not been haunting me, but it's one of those things that takes getting used to. Once you decide to just accept who you are and not let that stop you from your goal. So I told my fiance last week that I was gonna wear leggings with gym shorts on top, you know, kind of like compression leggings. And she was okay with it. She said, yeah, sure, whatever you want to do. But realistically, I knew I wouldn't be comfortable in that environment with, you know, leggings. I'd prefer just to wear shorts, sock, shoes, you know, and a tank top. And so I did, you know, when I left the house. Once I locked the door, I was like, this is it. You know, I'm making the commitment to just accept myself and to not care what people say, not care what people think. I'm no longer going to be conscious of what people think about me. I'm going to do me. And because at the end of the day, I'm in control of my life, and you need to have that mindset to take yourself to another level, because the more serious you take your life, the more you have to understand people are going to have opinions. People are going to think and say things.
Right. No, absolutely. That's a tremendous of you to be able to have that courage to go out there and do that. So, first of all, good job and congratulations on taking that step. You know,
Thank you.
It's a lot of nerves, you know, but the thing is self-doubt can, you know, kill your dreams more than failure ever will.
Yeah.
And so that's that thing of just believing in yourself and knowing like, okay, like I'm doing this for a reason, a purpose, a goal, and nothing's going to stop you. Nothing.
Yeah.
Whether that's your own personal things or exterior things that are in your way, obstacles that are in your way. It's just like, no, I'm focused. This is my goal. You know, these may be my disadvantages, or these may be some obstacles I may face, but I know what's coming, and I know I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna overcome these obstacles by just focusing on what it is that I need to do. And the way you focus is like figuring out, okay, what it is.
Yeah.
I got this. Okay, I gotta make time for this. I gotta put in the work for this, and that's when you really start to. Everything else will come second. If you really focus on what you're trying to do, everything else will come second. So you don't need to stress. You don't need to worry, because you're already putting in the work and you're already doing the time to what you have to do to achieve your dreams. Like for example, this I was watching this movie last night. I think it was called something. It was something about a horse. And
was it Warhorse?
No, it was like this different movie. They're in like they're in like England or something.
Oh, okay.
And this lady was like kind of doing a 9-to-5 job, 2 jobs, work trying to maintain, and she just was like, she needed something new.
Yeah.
She needed that challenge, and so she kept seeing this like reoccurring theme of horses. She saw it on a magazine. Some stranger in the bar was like talking about horses. She would see horses as she was walking by work, and she never saw horses. So she's like, something's up here. You know, maybe I should take more look into these horses. And so she's like, she looked into it. She's like, I can't afford all these horses. It's like a couple grand or whatnot.
Yeah, easily.
And so she's like, all right, right off the bat, that's obstacle 1, right? Obstacle 1, can't make that payment. It's just so, but she's like still focused on it. She's like, all right, well, how else can I make money? So she went around making flyers and trying to say, okay, well, let's join in on, let's have a bunch of people get together and we can all purchase this horse, right? So she went around her local town passing out flyers and whatnot. And sure enough, some people came to the meeting and they just started, saving up their money to buy these horse. Long story short, the horse ends up winning like a bunch of races, and
Ooh.
it was really cool. It was really awesome
Okay.
to see and watch. But I think what I'm really trying to get at was her focus to one, see the opportunities in front of her, that she's not so blind to just pass and just continue to go to her 9 to 5 job and work,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're
Yeah.
focused, you don't see those opportunities.
Right.
If you're focused, you kind of just dismiss. I'm sorry. If you're not focused, you just
Yeah.
dismiss it. But if you're focused, you can see in between the lines like that. You can be like, okay, something's up with this, or maybe I need to invest a little bit more time into this. And also, the second part of that was just focusing on completing the task, however that might be. If
Mhm.
you have an obstacle, okay, how can I go around it? How can I go over it, through it, under it,
Yeah.
whatever it is?
No, that's good. That's really good. I like that. I like that a lot. And like you said, the key is focus. Focus. Your level of focus determines your level of intensity. And in regards to like TikTok, we're not saying you guys have to delete it. We're not saying that you guys have to evaluate your lives. All we're saying is that when you've decided that you know what you want, you have to do what it takes to support that dream. You have to be the one that waters that plant. You're the only one responsible for your results. And so, what I wanted to also mention, and I wanted to encourage anyone, if you're listening, if you wanted to do kickboxing, if you wanted to do jiu-jitsu, if you wanted to do whatever, some type of Facebook group, do it. Don't be afraid. Um, really take a look at what you want to do in life and don't let anyone stop you. Yesterday, Eric, when I was driving home or driving to Big Five to buy some boxing shoes, some wrestling shoes or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I seen this lady with like her fast food uniform on, standing in the heat at the bus stop. And she's probably looking in her mid-20s. She looked tired. It looked like she probably was going to another job right after. And 15-minute transaction at Big Five, drove past her again. And in my heart and in my mind, I told her, like, you do what you believe you need to do and you will make it. Don't let anyone, it doesn't matter if you're at a bus stop. It doesn't matter if you currently work at a fast food job. I was just telling her in my heart, kind of like praying for her, just like I'm proud of you. You don't know me that I'm saying this. I'm proud of you, and you do it. You keep doing it, and don't let anyone stop you. That was my mindset, and it's that, again, that level of focus. It doesn't matter your current circumstance, whether you have your own car, or you're at a bus stop. You do what you need to do in order to get your results. I actually live 2 miles away from the gym, and I had like that thought. I was like, maybe I can walk to the gym for a warm up. But let's say if I didn't have a car, that's something I would have to do, in order for me to be sure I make my gym classes. But I'm just on this spiel about just like focus and just being yourself, because at the end of the day, you are the result of your happiness. Eric told me that he dropped TikTok because of all this facade, fake cars, fake money, invest and do this and that. If you're not into it, don't try to get into it.
Right.
Do you? What are you into? What is your goal? What's your next step? What's your game plan? But yeah, that's I just had to share that.
Yeah, and the other reason too, kind of why I dropped TikTok was it's misleading. Like, it's some of these things is not what I want. So, and what I mean by that is, like, money is not always an indication
Yeah.
of value in a person.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And so when I see all these people, like, oh, I have all this money, you should listen to me, I'm a valuable person. Like, no, like somebody, I would rather take somebody who has more life experience and is broke versus somebody who has no life experience and all of his money was handed down to him or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they simply invested in a couple of stocks and now they're rich and they're saying, listen to me. Like, unless I feel like I would rather listen to somebody who's earned it, who's put his time in, put work in, and is grinded for all of this, versus people that have just kind of not just subsequently gotten their money
Yeah.
by accident or whatnot. So I don't know. I think that it's misleading in my opinion. Like the whole idea of success, right?
Yeah.
We don't look at success as like, oh, did you get first place? Did you win that trophy or the car, the money, the women? Like, no, it's did you do what you needed to do today?
Yeah. Yeah. I like when people like you know what words of affirmation are, like I am great, you know, today will be a successful day. That's fine. Perfect. Nothing wrong with
Mhm.
that. You keep doing you. You know, I do it myself. Um, but I don't like when people are like, I'm gonna be a millionaire, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that. And it's like you're focused on the wrong thing here.
Mhm.
Um, what do you need to do to be the millionaire? You know, I'm gonna be successful detailer until I
Mhm.
own my XYZ, until I have 2 employees to work for me and I don't have to work anymore. You know, and start making that slow increment to, you know, financial wealth, you know, not just I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Right.
Saying that to yourself. You're psyching yourself out. You're believing in words and not the work. And again, it's that focus. Like for me, like I said, I've never been a huge person of TikTok. Um, for like, I hate how there's 60 seconds and it's like part 1. Go to my page for part 2. I just closed the app. I just
Yeah.
closed the app. No, I'm not going to part 2. I'm not going to part 2. But besides the point, I'm serious. But besides the point, uh, TikTok and the whole, you know, like you said, self-invest and he drives this and that. I've never been a materialistic person. Okay. And that's just due
Mhm.
to me being poor. I've understood whether you had a Rawlings baseball glove
Mhm.
or a Mizuno, they both catch a ball. And
Yeah,
I was always
exactly.
that kid that had like the weird ass glove or the cheap cleats. But when the game started, I had some respect, you know, and I'll tell this story on the podcast. When I first joined Citrus Valley Baseball, represent. This is our high school. Yeah, there you go. This is our high school, you guys. Our alma mater. My first year of joining Citrus Valley High School baseball team, I tried out in the summer. Bless you. I tried out in the summer to make the fall team. So I tried out June and July to make the August fall ball team for freshmen. Again, you guys, those are one of those situations where I didn't know anyone.
Mhm.
I moved from San Bernardino into Redlands that year, so I didn't know anyone. I had the cheap cleats. I think I had a backpack, not even a baseball bag.
Mhm.
And you have other 15 kids, you know, they're wearing the $200 Oakley glasses. They got the baseball necklace. They have all the wristbands and headbands. They got the capes and the jetpacks. And, you know, I'm sitting here with like $15 cleats, a $35 glove. And
Mhm.
they did pick on me, you know, but once the tryout started, I easily found myself in a circle of 4 or 5 best players and
Mhm.
them like accepting me because I was good. But just to my point is like you don't need the flashy stuff to get the job done. You just
Mhm.
need that ability. You just need to, you know, do take care of what you need to take care of. So back to the whole materialistic thing. I've never been a fan of materialistic things. Am I saying that I don't want to drive a nice car? Are you nuts? I would
Yeah.
love to drive a nice car. I'd like to drive a manual nice car too.
Mhm.
Mm, yeah, so materialistic, never been my thing. If I'm a millionaire in the future, so what? You know, then I am. But I understand that it's work that's gonna get me to that millionaire status.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm trying to tell you guys, focus on today, focus on right now.
Yeah.
And you want to try to aim your lifestyle to that direction of success, you know, that millionaire. But even when you aim in that direction, you still have to, you know, follow through. You still have to follow through. And it starts with today. It starts with your behaviors now, you know. It starts with what, you know, what you're spending time with now. Really quick, Eric, because I know you want to say something. I was watching the Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, like back in
Oh.
time thing.
Mhm.
And Floyd Mayweather, man. Floyd Money Mayweather. He hasn't changed a bit, dog. This was like a
No.
fight over 10 years ago, and he hasn't changed a bit. Just not his ego. I don't want to say his ego, but it's just his confidence and his discipline. His dad, they interviewed his dad, and they were talking about kind of like the emotional abuse that Floyd Mayweather Jr. got, the superstar. And
Mm-hmm.
even the dad said it. The dad's like, I was really hard on him. I didn't let him have candy. I didn't let him play basketball with his cousins. I didn't let him jump on, the trampoline. He goes, but look at him now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo. So there's some truth to that. I'm not saying you gotta emotionally abuse yourself. You gotta physically abuse yourself. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying there is results with discipline. There is results with staying focused. They thought he was a horrible parent for being so strict on his son, but look at his son now. His son literally made over $100 million in less than 24 minutes. Like, are you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Over $100 million in less than 30 minutes? Are you
That's
crazy?
insane.
Are you crazy? But that's just the fruits of discipline. And the craziest thing, like I was saying, is Floyd hasn't changed. He works out 3 to 4 times a day at any type of hour, at 1 a.m., 1 p.m., you name it, 3 a.m. He's working out 3 or 4 times a day, and that's just his hustle. He's just a hard worker, and that behavior started so early for him, and it's just proof. It's proof of hard work. It's proof of staying focused, of being disciplined, knowing what you want, and sticking to it.
Yeah, and it just going every day and putting in the time is what you need to do to achieve your dreams that you set out for. I mean, that's just I'm just still stuck up on that 100 million. Whoa,
In less than 30 minutes, because it was
in
8
less than
rounds.
30 minutes.
It was 8 rounds, so 8 times 3 is 24. 3-minute
Wow.
rounds. Yeah, less than 30 minutes, 100 million. Just on his shorts, you guys, 30 million. Those patches, you know how you see like Hub Law and you see like different patches. Those, they cash out for
Wow.
superstars to wear that. 30 million just on his shorts.
My goodness, talk about we made it,
Honestly, dude.
Wow.
Honestly.
But
Yeah.
to add to that, I think there's never, I feel like there's a point too where you can't like say, all right, now that I got it, now what?
No, never
It's
have
never
that mindset.
that. It's never that.
Never that. And that's not what it is for Floyd.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you look at him like he's gotten everything he could ask for, but he still works out 3 to 4 times. Doesn't matter if it's 1 a.m. like Rodolfo was saying. Like he still stays at it. He is still the same beast, but a different animal.
Yes.
It's like you need to stay hungry no matter what. It never stops. You can't just get the money or get the thing that you want and then feel complacent. No, continue to strive, continue to be better, because there's always opportunity. There's always room for growth.
Yeah, he's such a trash talker too. Like his sparring partners, I think I was watching a boxing video. It's a professional, and professionals, they trash talk their sparring partners, And for those who don't know what a sparring partner is, let's say I'm a professional boxer. I wanted to pay Eric $1,500 to go 12 rounds with me just to practice. I need practice, And so obviously they pay a little bit more, but that's basically what it is. Eric gets in the ring to practice with me. I pay him. His objective isn't to beat me, but it's definitely to make me work. Floyd Mayweather will make his opponents body slam him, like literally, like pick him up and out of frustration throw him because he's talking all this crap. He's backing it up with his action, and that's what he always says. He's like, I can't have all this talk and not back it up, and that's just the name of his game. That's just his worth ethic. He likes putting that pressure on himself. He likes saying things, so he has to follow up with that. And that's just the mindset we need to have, whether it's 100 million. And I bet you he did something the next day too. Some type of event, some type of something,
Yeah.
The very next day.
And that's knowing yourself too, that mind body connection of like, how do I work? How do I make myself tick and work and go each day? Right. He knows that that's what gets him motivated. So that's what he uses to his advantage. So if you're, figuring out what you have and what motivates you and how it gets you going, then absolutely use it. Figure it out, of just like taking the time to make that mind body connection so that way you can work on the goal that you have and motivate yourself in that aspect.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty much everything I had, Eric. I just wanted to hone in on focus, on being disciplined and working towards something and not being afraid of doing that, whatever you want to do. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, quite frankly, it frustrates me, Eric, when I hear people and they say like, oh, this is my passion. And I ask them, like, how often do you do it? You know, like, do you, whatever it is, whether it's drawing, singing, I hear rapping. When I worked at the youth shelter, rapping was like a number one thing that all the, like the gentlemen, all the boys wanted to do when they grew up. I want to be a rapper. And I would ask them, okay, cool. How often do you practice? They're like, what are you talking about? And it hurts me because like they don't understand the work it takes. They just think that it's going to be one song, one hit wonder to get them, you know, their name out there. No,
Mm-hmm.
you got to have that paper and that pen every morning for at least an hour to get the blood going, you know, to
Yeah.
challenge yourself, to be creative, to push yourself to the next limit. You know, and you got to write different styles, different types of rhymes, you know, listen to an artist and try to mimic their style in your own personal song, and, you know, challenge yourself. But I don't hear that from them. They just, oh, I want to be a
Mm-hmm.
rapper, and boom, that's it. You know,
Right.
oh, I have something written down. Okay, cute. When did you write that? Like, how long ago? You know, you got to constantly challenge yourself. And, you know, singing, whatever it is, you guys, it honestly, as toxic as this will sound, you almost have, no, you do have to do something you want to do on a daily basis, if not weekly basis, at least once a week. This podcast is at least once a week, and I'm doing it. And that's what I've decided that works for me. You know, if I needed to do something that required more work, guess what I'm willing to do? I'm willing to put in that work to make sure that I continue to grow, whether it's rapping, detailing cars, anything. It needs to be like some type of daily application to really make it. You guys have to understand that if this is your future, if this is your passion, if this is what you want to do, you have to put in that work. You can't just lollygag. You can't. And we're not saying drop everything. We're not saying sell everything. All we're saying is that it's time today. It is time to focus. It is time to get up and to move forward. Like, stop going throughout your day. I don't care what job you work. You think I care, Eric? No, I don't care. But you know why? Because I've spent over 4 years of working jobs I didn't want to work, but I worked them in order to get me where I am today. You know, sometimes in life, you really do have to do things you don't want to do in order
Mm-hmm.
to do things you do want to do in the future. And that is my like rant about focus, is because if you're at that bus stop sweating under the heat in your fast food clothes, but you understand that this is part of your vision, like temporarily working at a fast food place until you get enough money to get a car so you can actually drive to a better job, you know, then keep going to that fast food job and keep saving. Don't
Mm-hmm.
think about the heat. Don't think about the disgusting bus stop, because I'm sure it's disgusting, that bus stop. Just do it, you know, just do it, you know, just do it. I can't tell you how many times I've done work from 11 a.m. to 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and then 4 to 9 college classes, five
Mm-hmm.
days a week. I can't
Oh
tell you
yeah.
how many times I've done that, you know, leave campus past 9, uh, arrive to campus as early as 7 a.m., you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't think about it in the moment. I just did it. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I understood, like, man, like, this is my vision. I'm going to graduate my associates. Then I'm going to transfer to Cal State and graduate my bachelor's. And then I'm going to find a job, you know, which I did at the shelter. And then I'm going to get experience and then get a better job. And then I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
get experience. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the level of focus. You have to understand that your current circumstances isn't permanent. That's one thing I've
Mm-hmm.
always told myself, Eric, since I was 18 years old, that I used to tell myself, 18 years old, because I was the only kid at the A&W restaurant who was going to school full time. And they were like, wow, like, you're a college student. Like, they literally have never worked with a college student before.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just so amazed. And I told them, I was like, look, 5 years from now, I could either be graduated from college or I'm not. That's just the way
Mm-hmm.
it works.
Right.
And I always said that. I always said that. And look at it now. You know, 5 years from now, that was back in 2016. So literally 5 years from now, I'm graduated college and I have a decent job, you know? And it's just understanding the urgency, understanding the importance of being
Mm-hmm.
focused. And you will get rewarded, you know, you really will.
And it's not going to be like leaps and bounds at every
Ah,
day. It's going
nope.
to be small increments, and sometimes you may
Mm-hmm.
even go backwards. Sometimes you
Yep.
may face obstacles and that you kind of step back, but trust me, it's continuous progress, it's continuous movement, and you can definitely see it in the long run. It's positioning yourself. I mean, like for example, when I was back at GCU before I graduated, I was sitting here. My schedule was packed. I mean, jam packed. I woke up at 6 a.m., interned all the way up until about 3 or 4. Then I went to class. And right after class, I was coaching for mock trial.
Yeah.
And then after coaching mock trial, I went and I was in mock trial. So I did coaching and I was involved in college mock trial. I was coach that one as well. And then after that, all said and done, about 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym,
I remember
working
that.
out, and then I'm waking up and doing it the next day. It was just a continuous like cycle of
Yeah.
this is what I want, this is what I want to do. And the whole time during this while I'm doing this, I'm just thinking to myself like I'm putting myself in such a great position that when I'm done, when this is all said and done, it'll be worth what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And it did. And look at me now.
Mhm.
I got accepted in a law school. I'm first in my family to go to law school. And it's like it paid off tenfold. Looking back, I would do that a million times over.
Mhm.
Right. I would sit in that bus stop, like you're
Yeah.
saying. I would sit in that bus stop sweating my ass off or sweating my butt off a million times over, knowing that what I have today.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys, you think I went to every class? Ha! You think I went to every college class I signed up for? No. I literally, there's one class I just didn't show up anymore. I just wasn't into it. And to be quite honest, I was pretty like I was pretty down on life, that year that I just didn't, I literally didn't show up to class at all. And I had that option just to go online and just to quit the class, like just request to do an incomplete. But no, I just took the F, just like a soldier right off the chest, just boom, an F. Um, when I first started college, I drove a car. It was a 2001 BMW that like nearly blew up on me on the freeway. But the first year and a half, I used to park as far as you can park. Just I would make sure I would drive around the whole campus. Okay, where's the farthest location on campus? And I used to park there because when I would turn on my car, it would start perfectly. When my car would run perfectly. But the problem was, Eric, is that whenever I'd park and turn off my car, the oil would drip onto the engine and it would smoke like white smoke. And it would smoke
Mhm.
for about 2 minutes, but like quite a bit. It's coming out of the sides of the hood, it's coming out of the grill of the hood, and it was just embarrassing. But I did what I needed to do. I told myself that this isn't permanent. I remember crying in my car a couple times, frustrated that all I wanted to do was go to college and work at a fast food job, and my car is breaking and I'm spending money on my car every weekend. Just that level of frustration. We're not talking about equal giving. We're talking about equal sacrifice, meaning that whatever your schedule allows you for you to do it. Don't worry about, oh, this person's doing this person's doing that. No, worry about yourself. Worry about how you can improve the quality of your life, how you can improve, or what you can do, how you can position yourself, like Eric always says, to one day make sure that this will not be like your life. This
Mhm.
is like, you better make sure whatever you're doing, it puts you in a position to never live like that again.
Mhm.
And one of my biggest motivations, going through college, obviously I promised my dad that I would finish college. I promised my mom that I would finish college, my fiance's parents and all that. But working fast food with grown women in their 30s, working retail with grown women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and then working warehouse with senior citizens, motivated me, because I understood that, man, if I don't finish college and if I don't make a career out of my life, my wife, my fiance, is going to be working in this warehouse next to me.
Mhm.
I put a little bit of fear in my life. I put a little bit of fuel to that fire to increase my level of intensity, you know, to increase my level of focus, of believing in like what I want to do, and believing in like, and kind of setting like a standard for myself, really, you know, saying that you're not going to settle for less. You refuse to make this, you know, this job your permanent job type of mindset.
Right. And that's kind of going back to that whole mind body connection of knowing yourself and what motivates you. Like what motivated Floyd Mayweather only motivates himself. What motivates Rodolfo, as you just explained, is what you only motivates you. But you know, for me, it's kind of like my family's worked their butt off for me to be in this position, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about my mother and father. Yes, I'm talking about them, but I'm talking about before them, you know, just the long line of ancestries that it's taken for me to be where I'm at, and for me to waste this and to just not do anything with what they've done, to me is just like a complete disrespect. And so that's what motivates me, is to like, you know what, I'm doing this for them. Like they've worked their butt off for me to be in this position. Now it's time for me to do something about it.
Yeah.
No, it's time to take my family from this level to this level. You know, this is that next level to get us out of there. You know, they got, you know, what do you call it? They lifted me up. Now I need to pull them up with me.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. That's gonna do it for me, Eric. I don't have any more notes, sir. Is there anything else that you wanted to throw into this podcast before we close it up?
Just for all of our listeners and viewers to stay motivated. Also, we're going to be having a guest speaker coming on soon.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So my mom was actually supposed to record for us today. I told her last week. I could have sworn, you know, there's one thing I hate about phone calls is that there's no paper trail. And so I couldn't find it. I was telling her like, no, we agreed on Monday. Because she was like, no, you didn't tell me the date. And I think it was a phone call, Eric. I think it was a phone call. So it was my fault, because I texted her Sunday night or Saturday night. She's like, what? This Monday? No, it doesn't work. Or this Tuesday or whatever. So we're going to push for this weekend. If we could do it this weekend, then we're going to go do the following. So I think that's what we agreed on, right? 2 weeks out is my mom. And then next week, we're going to see if we can squeeze in someone for next week.
Yeah, we have upcoming Father's Day here on Sunday.
Yeah.
So make sure you spend some time with your dads.
Yes.
Please do.
That father figure.
That father figure out there. Really give thanks to what they have, because, you know, they brought you into this world.
Yeah, and they're still, at the end of the day, that person's still your dad, and that father figure still, out of the kindness of their heart, you know, extended their hand towards you as family. So, and I can speak from experience. You know, I have a stepdad, I have my biological dads. They're both still alive, thank God. And, you know, my third father, which is Allie's fiance. I mean, my fiance, Allie, her dad. He's like he's going to be my father-in-law pretty soon, but he's definitely that father figure. And, you know, just, you know, send them a text, a phone call, just a little bit of gratitude towards them. You know, it's a big day for all the dads, for sure. I remember growing up, since I was the only one that wasn't a dad, I would have to cook with all the girls. So that's what I did. Hey, just to show a little bit of gratitude, that's what I did. So be lucky that you don't have to do that. I hope we weren't too harsh on you guys today. We love you guys for tuning in. Thank you. 27 episodes, Eric, and we're 27. Still, we're at that. Is 52? What would be a halfway mark?
25. 25 to 50 to 50. Yeah.
So or 26, because it's 52 weeks in a year. So
you're talking about?
Yeah, we passed the halfway mark, you guys. So we literally have been podcasting for 6 months. We're past the halfway mark. Halfway mark was last week, episode 26. So that just goes to show the power of consistency, power of accountability, you know what I'm saying? Power of discipline. And so I hope we weren't too hard. I hope this episode helps you guys out, you know, to do something differently, or to take yourself to the next level, because like Eric and I have been saying, we're responsible for our level of intensity. You know, how serious do we want to be? It's up to us. You know, how bad do you want it? It's up to you. You know, like Canelo Alvarez prayed. He said, God, you know what we need to do? And here we are. So thank you for tuning into the Mindtality podcast. This is Rodolfo, your host.
And Eric Bogaz, your co-host.
You guys have a blessed one, okay? Peace.
Peace.